Okay, so here we are for lesson 2.
Nice.
That last week went by quick, didn't it?
It did.
Shocked, but we have another beautiful day out here. Today we're playing around in the sand, working on our bunker game. I know a lot of amateurs are really nervous when they get in the bunker. I'm sure you're not. I mean, you're an advanced player, so you're probably not too nervous, but there probably is a little bit of anxiety when you hit a shot in here. Probably what we're going to do today is I'm going to have you hit some bunker shots.
Okay.
And then I'll kind of do a demonstration, give you my thoughts on how you should play the game mentally and visually, how you should be in the bunker. And then I'll kind of have you take in some of my tips, hit some shots afterwards, and we'll use that to try to measure if the tips were helping or hurting. That'll kind of give me some feedback as well. And then after that, towards the end, I'll kind of ask like if there's anything else you want to know about the bunkers, any shots that you struggle with inside of the bunkers.
Okay.
Anything?
Oh. I'd say probably plug lies, just, get enough power to get it up on there.
Okay. So towards the end, we'll work on some plug lies, and we'll see if we can do that and hopefully improve your all-around game in the. So what club you got in your hand?
I have my lob wedge.
Okay, lob wedge. And we have about how far would you say this is? 20-yard shot here? 20-yard bunker shot? I kind of want you to think out loud as you're doing this, what you're doing. Kind of, what are your thoughts while you're in here? You're digging your feet in, why are you doing that? Is that how you see them do it on TV, or?
I mean, I guess, yeah, but I know you dig your feet in so that you don't slide or anything. So
Yeah. Makes you more stable?
Yeah.
Good, good.
Forward. And then I usually open up my club to get it up higher.
Good, good. Okay, so I'm going to kind of walk you through what I do in the bunker. Obviously, you don't want to be grounding your club,
Yeah.
but you know that. I'm going to get a perfect lie for myself. I hope. My God. So, got a 20-yard shot. Not really anything in front of me, so I'd usually probably recommend not using a lob wedge in the bunker, probably more of a sand wedge. But I'm a lob wedge guy in the bunker. I like to throw the ball a far distance and let it land and not let it roll very far. So I'm going to use a lob wedge. If my target's there, in order to open up my club face and use the bounce, I need to open up the club face. But if I'm going to open up the club face, you see I got to actually aim my body to the left in order to square my club face. So after that's set, I want to dig my feet in the ground for a couple reasons. Like I said, I want to be more stable with my lower body. And also, if you can get your feet below the level of the golf ball, it's going to help you stay underneath it. Then I always pick out a spot. Depending on what club it is, how far you want to hit it, that spot can change, but it's usually generally somewhere in here is where I want to enter the sand. So then from there, I'm not even looking at the golf ball anymore. I'm visually staring at a grain of sand or something that's that far behind it. And I'm going to try to keep my hands up kind of high this direction. But once I get back here, I kind of want to let my body do the work and kind of stay as shallow as I can. You don't want to come down on it, and then all I want to try to do is almost kind of scoop the sand forward, right? So then I'm going to look at the target, visualize that spot, and go. So for this part of the lesson, you talked about how you wanted to help yourself get better with plugged lies in the bunker. Now plugged lies are kind of really difficult to get close, but probably the number one rule of the plug lie is just get it out of the bunker, But I know a couple tips that may seem unusual that will help us do this. So one of the things that I do is I'm not going to have the ball in the front of my stance anymore because I have to come a lot more down and direct at it. So I'm going to move the ball back in my stance. So it's going to be closer to my back foot than it is my front foot. Another thing is I'm not going to use the bounce anymore because I don't want the club to bounce. I need the club to dig and get down to the golf ball. So since I'm not going to use the bounce, there's no reason for me to open my stance up a lot anymore. The last thing I do is I don't really hold the club face square to the target. I'm actually going to hood the club face. So it's going to look more like this. So what this is going to do, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but I'm kind of hooding it this direction. This is going to kind of come down. It's going to compress all that sand behind the golf ball, and it's just going to kind of launch it out it's going to come out low, but it should not have a ton of speed on it. So with this, I'm hoping to try to land it maybe in the fringe, and hopefully it doesn't run too far by the flag. Okay. So like I said, I'm going to dig my feet in again. I want to make sure I stay stable. Ball's on my back foot. I'm going to hood the club face. I'm going to try to hit right behind the golf ball again. And that flew really far. But as you can see, I'm out of the bunker, yes, yeah. Which is the most important part. Let me see another golf ball. See if I can do one a little better. Okay. Another horrible lie. Yeah. You get up here from the fairway, you look in the bunker, and it's not very pretty. We'll try that again. Maybe not so powerful. I've been working out lately. That's probably what happened. I'm gonna come right down on top of it. But you can see the ball actually does come out of there a lot better if I was to try and do it a normal way. You know, if I stuck to my normal bunker routine and try to get it out of here, I mean, the ball just doesn't want to come out that way. So that's the way I play it. Like I said, it is a little unique. You probably don't see a lot of tour players that have a hooded face in the bunker, but I think it'll help. Okay?
So do you, since you don't want to use the bow, would you recommend like a lob wedge over a sand wedge? Or?
I like using a lob wedge because the ball is so far back in my stance and it is so de-lofted that I kind of want to have as much initial loft on my club as possible. Oh, okay. Because I don't want to do it so much to where I'm just going to push the ball right into the ground. So walk up here from the fairway. Oh no, it's plugged. Oh, now what? No. Yeah, like I said, visually just try to want to get it just barely under the fringe. Good. Well, that's it. That concludes our little fun in the sun and in the sand lesson that we just did. So at first, I kind of had you hit some shots out of the bunker using the knowledge that you know. And to be honest, I was shocked. You performed fantastic. I will say that I did hole a shot. It wasn't on film.
True.
But whatever, that doesn't matter. And then we kind of went into a demonstration on my thoughts and views of playing out of the sand. And then we tried to implement some of those ideas into yours, and then you didn't quite perform as well. I'm not going to blame that on poor instruction. I'm just going to say you're probably a little more relaxed, weren't thinking about as many things when you were hitting your first shots out of the bunker. But you still hit some good shots, a couple of them there. And then the last part that we went into is you said you wanted a little help with plug lies in the bunker, so I kind of gave you my idea, my unique style of hitting shots out of the bunker. You even hit them better than I did. Whatever. But, so, what do you think about that style of hitting out of the bunker like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever really hooded the club face like that. And obviously it got it out every time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and like you said, all you can hope for is to get it out. So.
Exactly, that's the number one rule. So hopefully that helped. Next week we're going to be right back here at the short game facility again. We're going to go back out into the fairway you see behind us. We're going to work on some 20, some 40, some 60 yard shots.